Architecture, like music, is an immersive experience. It surrounds you, taking the form of an adaptive reuse project that aims to transform an existing church into an auditorium and performing arts center. My focus has been on enhancing the experiential dimensions of architecture, engaging with changes in light, time, and materiality. This impulse emerged from my early explorations into the material properties of wood. As a natural material, wood has the potential to enrich sensory experience. By integrating the unique visual, tactile, and auditory qualities of wood into my design, I aim to recall the collective memory and experience of the site. My site is the Hillhurst Baptist Church. Located in the neighborhood of Hillhurst and Sunnyside, it was built in 1907. A modest Carpenter Gothic structure, it is also one of the last remaining wood-frame churches in Calgary. This is due, in part, to preservation's selective tendency that places emphasis on the exceptional, which can be observed across Calgary, with the preservation of grand sandstone churches a common occurrence. Historically, Hillhurst, like many other neighborhoods, was built around the church, which served the spiritual, cultural, and social needs of the community. However, having lost its primary use after the congregation disbanded in the early 70s, it's fallen into disrepair. By transforming the church into an auditorium, the social value of the building is restored. Music and dance, like the church, are intricately connected to spirituality. This new musical program respects the historic use of the building while allowing it to once again live and serve an entire community. Located next to an active construction site, the church reveals the rising tension between preservation and development in the area. The city's regime of preservation severely limits the potential for historic sites to evolve and adapt. Once designated, this building cannot be demolished, but is also subject to strict architectural controls. The church also serves as a reminder of a forgotten material history in the area, which saw many structures built out of wood, often by local community members. With this in mind, I began to shift my focus to materiality. Assessing the physical damage of the church, a predictable pattern of decay emerges. Paint peels and chips as the wood shingles begin to curl, split, and crack. The neglect of the structure prompted me to ask, why don't we preserve or restore wood structures? Part of the answer lies in the fact that wood is subject to faster rates of decay and thus requires constant maintenance and repair. In response, I designed a repair process that would anticipate and embrace decay, specifically the weathering of cedar shingles. Rooted in the desire to allow the preserve to evolve, this repair strategy makes visible the passage of time. With a less labor-intensive process, the repair also enables continuous community participation in the upkeep of the structure. Phased over several years, damaged shingles are first identified and then replaced. Over time, a mosaic of patinas appears, revealing rather than erasing past damages to the facade. The striking blue color of the existing church becomes visible again only once the aging shingles begin to curl. This process was inspired by the repair of my broken chair in Phase 1. Taking the form of a 19th century ladderback chair, once durable and well crafted, my chair was found in a state of disrepair. The project required the replacement of the missing seat and the repair of the loose broken joints which made the chair unstable. The concept of repair asks us to reconsider the value of broken objects as providing an opening for engaging with, tending to, and caring for the things and people around us. My approach considered the concept of repair as care, where an object is approached with the same amount of consideration as would be given to the wrapping of a broken arm or the repair of the human body. The action of continuously wrapping the broken joints reveals the passage of time and emphasizes the damage. Embracing the practice of visible repair, the cast or tensor bandage becomes a central feature of the chair, to the point that we cannot think and separate the injury from the repair. Through the repeated action of wrapping, knotting, and tying, we are able to track and trace the evolution of the chair through time, as it takes on a new and ever-changing form. This allows for the preserved to stay alive and yet evolve. An important takeaway from the project was the recognition that an object repaired today will inevitably need to be repaired again in the future. Repair may be a slow process, one that happens repeatedly over many years, but it also provides us with an invaluable method that resists obsolescence and ensures longevity. Complementary to the repair of the existing church, I designed a new extension that would hold the future auditorium. Taking its cue from visible traces left by the now demolished 1958 Christian Education Building, the church is extended into the neighboring lot. Next, the scale is increased at one end, allowing the form to project sound outwards to the community, similar to the functioning of a megaphone. Integrated with the landscape, the building creates a welcoming outdoor space for the community in an area of high urban densification, which has led to less public space overall. In order for the new extension to retreat behind the listed setting of the church, it's conceived as a shadow of the previously existing structure and constructed from burned cedar planks, a process known as Sho-Sugi-ban. The modern appearance of the burned wood is mediated by the image of a pitched roof and timber boards that reference the vernacular architecture of the area. A particular method of stacking boards in alternating directions allows the new addition to visibly stitch itself onto the existing church. This implies a certain level of impermanence that allows for the new addition to be removed if ever there was a return to the church. On the west facade, a glass wall provides views and access into the auditorium, while also simultaneously extending the performance space outdoors. Integrated with the landscape, the building is designed to open up and deliver sound to the wider community. An auditorium and performing arts center implies periodic use. Performances only happen at select times of day, not continuously. As such, the building is designed to respond in plan to programmatic changes throughout the day. In the morning, the interior spaces are light, quiet, and designed to facilitate smaller community-based programs such as meditation. Whereas in the evening, the spaces open up in response to the lively music and dance performances happening within. Sensory experience within the building is enhanced through the application of materials, particularly wood, that have different visual, tactile, and auditory qualities. The dark appearance and smooth texture of the burned cedar differentiates the performance hall from the studios, which feature rough plaster walls. Inspired by the way old wooden floors creak, I designed an acoustic floor that allows the building to participate in the creation of sound through movement and dance. Looking at the xylophone as a precedent, I discovered that the vibration or sound produced by the wooden keys aligns with changes in the length of the key and the depth of the arch. These two parameters were tested through my concept model. Deployed across the building, these acoustic hardwood planks identify moving from one space to another through a change in pitch, and aid in the creation of a unique auditory experience. To summarize, in the past, the church served as a community gathering space. Constructed out of wood by local volunteers, it represents a forgotten material history in the area. In the future, the space is reimagined as a lively performance hall. Not only does it provide a renewed sense of social value to the community, but it also recalls the collective memory and distinct experience of this place. My finished project represents the middle, not the end, of the repair, recognizing that the process is never fully finished. The building is alive, constantly adapting to changing conditions and future needs. Repair in this context is framed not as a quick fix or solution, but rather a continuous process of creation, one that resists obsolescence and ensures a more sustainable future.